Sometimes here in Pittsburgh, we get the feeling that we're remote from the real trouble in the racial movement. The white people in the Pittsburgh area feel that the Negro is somewhat contained in his Hill District, in his other sections of the city. And we watch and we wonder about areas such as Watts, about Pompano Beach, Florida. And we wonder if something like this is going to happen here someday. And perhaps the wonder, the concern isn't enough. What do you think? Should we be more concerned? Jerry?
Yes, I think so. There's a mood in the Hill, a very strong mood that I think a lot of people aren't aware of, and they should be, because it's a very delicate situation, and it can go.
When you say a mood, you mean just a mood to break out, a mood to express yourself?
I think it's a mood of being contained more so than a sort of breaking out thing.
You don't like the idea of being just in the Hill?
When you say you, are you talking about me or?
No. I mean, you're here representing the black man, as I've heard you refer to yourself.
Can I explain that a little bit?
Certainly.
You better represent Jerry.
Yeah, this is what I was getting ready to say. If I represent the black man, then, you know, Rob, Charlie, August, Nick will have to represent, and our ideas differ. So you have 5 different ideas, and they're all very individual. And I must say that anything I say will be on my own part. But it's something I feel very strongly about, and it's the sense that something is going on in the Hill. Not necessarily an extremist movement. I'm not saying this, but what I'm saying is there's something going on.
August?
Well, I think the apathy that is supposedly known to be in the Hill is sort of a quiet before the storm. In that a Negro, a average Negro in the Hill, has become aware more that the white man, whether consciously or unconsciously, wants to be raped. He wants to be raped politically, economically, socially, sexually, and otherwise. And his oppression is not from fear of the black man or fear that he's going to be annihilated, but fear that he is not going to be annihilated, because he has a guilt, which is sort of a screaming guilt, and which is calling for his own annihilation.
Well, do you feel then that the civil rights movements, as we're trying to get them about now, or the respect of the Negro we're trying to come by, is an expression of our guilt?
No, I wouldn't say that. I would say just the opposite. The murders in Mississippi and what have you are an expression of your guilt. And the fact that you can't walk downtown and get a decent job is an expression of your guilt.
That the Negro can't get a decent job is an
True,
expression
true,
of our
true.
guilt. This is hit on so often, that the Negro can't get a decent job. And we realize that for a long time it has been this way. We are trying, and I will say in all sincerity that we're trying, that the Negro applicant is given what we hope is a fair chance.
There's one thing that doesn't seem to be touched on too often that I think is very important. That if we were to go back in time, regress a little, the black man has always had to know the workings of the white man's mind. Because of brutality that would be brought upon him, were he to make a mistake. And this was not a place that we knew as black men. This was not a country policy-wise, philosophy-wise, religion-wise, or any other that we knew. It was completely against, let's say, African principles. Let's say Asian principles. Let's say Asian policies for living. This is an ignorance, and you can't blame someone for being ignorant. But yet this is something that we've had to come through, and because we couldn't tell, we couldn't say, we couldn't express it because we didn't know how. It wasn't our language that we had to adapt. It was another person's language and another person's image. In this way, we are remote and have been remote. We know your minds. We know the workings of your minds, and we see the products every day. We bounce against them like stone walls, concrete walls, like jobs we can't have, like places we can't live, that we would love to live and can pay to live, like rent being elevated because we're black, and so forth, to keep us away. These are doors closed. We know how it is on that side, this side of the door. We don't know if you know how it is on this side of the door. But we do know, you know, and it's this that I mean.
It's the very ignorant, the very bigoted, the very prejudiced white person who would say that the Negro has not been subjected to these things you say. The thinking white man will admit them. The thinking white man is trying to do something about them.
But the problem is that the thinking white man, who is not this extremist, is a butter. Everything is but with him. He knows what the problems are, presumably. He talks about knowing. And he talks about really wanting to participate in the solution of the problems. But then he says, but, which erases all of that sentiment, erases everything he said prior to the but. And I find that this is true of many, many white people, even some of those in the civil rights movement. They say but. And they always say but at the wrong time.
If I can give you an example of a good but, Ben,
well, they also always think that the but is a good but.
Oh, no. A good in your thinking, maybe. I don't mind a Negro individual at all. I would not mind a Negro family living next door to me. But I would not like to have the Negro overrun my community. I don't mind the individual working at my company, but I don't want too many of them.
What do you mean overrun your neighborhood?
Now, in number. Speak only in number.
So you want to control
average...
this? Wait, just a minute now, Ed. You took a position there, which is surprising, but not
well,
too
no,
surprising.
not necessarily is it my position,
it is
but it is
this is
a
the
position.
position.
It's
this
a
is the white.
typical
This
position.
is the white position. All right. You talk about black people overrunning your neighborhood, and we say to you that we're not interested in overrunning your neighborhood.
But this is the way
Now,
it
this
has
is
come
something.
about.
No, this is something that white people have done.
You say, now wait,
No,
you
just
say
a
you
minute.
know our minds. You
Right,
say that you have studied our minds, you have studied our reactions. All right, then why is it that when a Negro family gets into a community, when they get into a particular housing development, that not one family, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 families within the same block. This is happening in Philadelphia. It's happened in many cities.
Right, I can answer that.
Now, what's wrong with it?
I can answer that. Why is it possible for Negroes to do this?
Well,
Because
one of
white
the
people,
reasons
white people.
we get into the black mood on the hill again.
Pretty sticky.
Let's keep going with this one idea about the Negro moving into the area. You had, Nick, you were starting to make another point there that I'd like to hear.
Right. Well, you were talking about Negroes overrunning your neighborhood, and you said you wouldn't mind one Negro living on your street, but you don't want them to overrun your neighborhood. Now, that makes you a but whitey, and the word is hyphenated. Makes you a but whitey. The reason why Negroes move into these communities in the first place, I think, the main reason is because there are other Negroes there. White people move out for that same reason. Now, and the question of blockbusters who have made millions of dollars on the same gimmick, they pass out little leaflets to all the remaining white people in the neighborhood. You know, there's a nigger down the street, sell your house, get out, and then they buy it from the white person for $6,000 below value, sell it to the Negro for $10,000 above value. And this is a game. It's the old American free enterprise system operating. You know, it's a game. But as for Negroes wanting to move into white communities, I think this is a myth. This is false. I think white people want to move into the hill. They do. They want to tear it down and put a symphony hall in there and then move in townhouses.
Well, you mean just push the Negro out completely?
Push the Negro anywhere he can. They'll close their eyes and not care where we go.
See,
As long as they get their little symphony hall in there and a library and maybe 1 or 2 art galleries, which will charge maybe $1 for entrance.
Do you think that we're really that
one side now?
No, or do you think that that's really as unrealistic as we are, that we feel that a population within our own country that numbers the way you number is a population we're going to be able to push to the side?
Well, look, you've been trying to do it.
What do you want to do?
You've been trying to do it.
You white
You'll
folks
build
aren't real.
power.
You white folks are just plain artifacts, man. Cats ain't real. Cats ain't real.
We're not real.
No, you're not real. You're artifacts, man.
The artifacts of reality.
Right
Is that what they
there. Real as it can be right there. And the rest
Yeah,
of it sitting on the
if
other
I
side.
add, you know, it's
But, you know,
very technical.
let me pursue this point.
No,
man.
we're very real, and our confrontation is very real at the
You
moment.
can't be real when you deny black folks their humanity. How can you be real?
Mr. Price.
How can you be real? Answer that if you deny us our humanity.
If we perhaps have denied you your rights.
Perhaps.
we
you
perhaps-
have.
Now wait. You have given me the supposition that I am unreal.
Listen, I'm giving you.
You are telling me that I am unreal, and I am telling you that if perhaps we have denied you the rights that you say you are entitled to, and now we have turned around and say that you are entitled to these rights, and we are trying our darndest to give you these rights.
But.
But give us a break. Now, just a
Give
minute.
you a break.
You bet your boots.
That's
What do you
the
think
idea.
you
The
accomplished?
idea
Now
of-
wait. What do
the
you think
idea
you
of some of the
accomplished by?
movements-
What do you think you accomplished by a whole bunch of you getting together and marching down a street, shouting, "Give us our rights! Give us our rights!" This goes back to the same thing we were.
We don't accomplish it, but what will we accomplish if we burn the Golden Triangle down?
Or if we really did give them a break.
Yeah. And like
On the next.
it became more pleasant for maybe 200 more years.
Nobody's
Until
asking
you
to
got
be
it together.
pleasant.
Here's the thing, under force, under stress of everyday living, you have to confront and you have to answer. You can't back up. You cannot make an excuse.
No, but yet so many Negroes will use an excuse that they are a Negro.
Yeah, and Dick, this is what I'm beginning to say before. There is such a thing as normal, a normal basis for things. Everybody wants to be normal. Everybody wants to be accepted. Okay, the only black men that are accepted, the only blackness that is accepted is assimilated with the whiteness. Black wants to be like white. Instead of black being like black, they don't even know what it's like to be like themselves because they're so busy being like the white man.
Right.
Middle class Negro suburbia is the same as white middle class suburbia. The only difference is the complexion of the people living there, and it's the same deadness.
Well, you mentioned before that you know us pretty well.
Right.
I say we're trying to learn you. Do you think organizations such as the NAACP, CORE, United Negro Protest Committee, do any of these give us an insight to the Negro?
Yes.
Is
They
it a
give
good
you an
one?
insight. They give you an insight because all of these things were necessary. It's like a chain reaction. There's no one thing. It's a combination of them all. It's like making a stew. Each ingredient is necessary to make it be. And if you can fathom each of these and fathom them as one thriving, throbbing black mass wanting
sense
to
of
be
unison.
itself, not like the white man, not like the black man, not like anything else but itself, then yes,
But you know what, Charlie?
yes indeed, and there should be more.
The NAACP do not give you an image of us. They give you an image of yourself. That's all they give you. Because
Begging
We're
for
just
yourself.
bouncing off the NAACP.
Right.
That they give us a feeling of doing good.
Yeah, right. And it's these other organizations like RAM.
Clip Daniel, please. Mr.
It's really going to turn you
Are
around.
we doing any good here in Pittsburgh?
No.
None
The
at all.
point is,
You
the
haven't
point
did
is-
anything.
look,
You haven't
the
did
point
any
is, we
good.
don't
Well, that's
expect-
not- I don't
Do we
think you
expect black
can
people,
answer that.
white people to move? I don't.
No.
I don't expect white people to move on the problem, the race problem, because right now white people are in the seat of advantage. I don't expect them to move. Black people are going to have to move, and the problem here is that when black people do start moving, white people start to worry about it.
Can I ask you a question, Ed?
Okay.
Ed, can I ask you a question, man?
Yeah, but at this point we have to